Hey everyone, it's Ryan. I'm the volunteer IT guy at St. Benedict's Parish, and I wanted to update you here in the middle or perhaps in the fall of 2023 about many of the great projects that we have going on around the parish in terms of IT work, as well as an update on some of the live stream changes that we've had, and to give you an idea too of some of the changes that we have coming specifically for this new St. Benedict's Hall. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And speaking of liking and subscribing to the channel, you all have been awesome. Look at that. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers. How cool is that? If you remember, we started streaming with the live stream camera on January 23rd of 2021. And if I mouse my mouse over there, we had like maybe 100 subscribers. I know you can't see it because my video is blocking you. Sorry about that. It just sort of inched up as we went along until we got into August. And in August, we started with just under 300 subscribers. And then all of a sudden, like that flat-ish trajectory started to take off. I took a look and I was like, well, what the heck happened in August, right? Well, that's when the live stream camera broke. That was the first time I came on person in video to say, hey, I'm really sorry the live stream camera broke. And I honestly thought it was going to take us a whole lot of time to fix it. Thankfully, due to your prayers and a lot of hard work, we were able to bring that camera back pretty quickly. And oh my gosh, the number of subscribers started to skyrocket from there. Look at that. You know, in the same amount of time, it took us well over a year to go from 100 subscribers to 300 subscribers. And then we went from 300 to 600 in only a few months. And now, look at that. Now we are almost at 2,000. That's really, really awesome. I also took a look. We've streamed over 1,800 masses since 2021. 1,800. This isn't just the daily masses as well as Sunday masses. It's also weddings and funerals that we still do by request. It's just so many videos. Now, all this hard work with this has not, as many of you probably know, hard work doesn't go unpunished, right? And unfortunately, earlier this year, Facebook just killed our live stream. And so it was really weird. In early 2023, while I was sitting in mass, I noticed like some people with military haircuts, which is not unusual for our area, kind of had that like law enforcement vibe, kind of looked lost, like they like wandered into the church mistakenly. I thought, oh, maybe it's the Norva Sordo guy, whatever. You're still welcome here, right? And then about a month later, I saw headlines about the FBI checking out our church, as well as other Latin Mass churches, specifically the Richmond office of the FBI. And I was like, oh, I wondered what those people were. Now I know. Sadly, right about a month after that, Facebook stopped allowing our live streams. Now, I don't know if those two things are connected, but both of them start with F. And, you know, Facebook and the FBI both start with F, and I think F stands for fallen from grace. Now, let's be honest, we should pray for those people, because if Satan has a grip on anybody, it's probably Facebook and the FBI, for sure. So we should be praying that they release their grip at some point. They certainly need our help. Now, in the meantime, though, right, Facebook basically kicked us off. I did not change anything on the live stream, but I think effective May 5th, our live stream stopped working on Facebook. And despite all the efforts I tried. So I tried so hard, I could not make it work. Now, I decided that, well, if Facebook doesn't want us, I bet other people would. And so I went to Twitter. We had an account on Twitter a long time ago. A parishioner built it, never gave us the password or anything to it. It was defunct. I contacted Twitter. Twitter was super helpful. Wonderful people at Twitter. And they said, hey, we'll give you the account. Not a problem. You just have to email us from email at St. Benedict's Parish. I did that. Father Nichols wrote me a nice letter saying, yes, he can manage the account. And boom, we got back on Twitter. I also reached out to Rumble. As a couple of you know, we had to get like 5 people to subscribe to the Rumble feed or else I wasn't allowed to post videos. That happened. And so we were able to post on Rumble as well. So we have alternatives to Facebook. I am not dependent on Facebook anymore. Now there's not an integration yet for Twitter as well as Rumble to be able to automate the live stream like there is on YouTube. I have asked the people that build cam streamer software to provide us with an integration. They are working on that. I don't know what's going to happen. Twitter's a big enough crowd, and Rumble is becoming a bigger crowd, that I think CamStreamer will eventually develop those anyway. And as soon as they do, trust me, I will be streaming to those as well. Now, I do need some help though, because as you can see, there's lots and lots of subscribers here, right? But I'm only one person. We have some wonderful people, some wonderful parishioners that help out on the Facebook side. But I don't have anyone for these new accounts, and I just don't, unfortunately, I really don't have the time to be able to manually post a lot of content there. And so if you are an X junkie, that didn't really come out well. If you like to X people, that didn't really come out well. All right. If you have an account on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, or if you like to rumble on Rumble, email pretty good. Okay, we'll go with that. Then, and you want to help us post, you want to help us get videos onto those platforms, please email me, itsupport@stbenedictsparish.org, or you can ask Yvonne or Carrie, and they can provide you my email as well, and we can talk about how you could help us manage these accounts. After my last update video, we had a parishioner that volunteered to add content on Facebook. At first, he was sending the content to me, and I could not keep up because I am totally slow. I apologize. And so I said, let's just make you an admin on the Facebook page. And he has been posting so much content. If you thought that was me posting, oh, brother and sister, no, that's not me. That is this wonderful parishioner that is doing all that stuff. Many great volunteers here. I tell you what, it is so awesome. I'm so happy that people love the Mass in the parish so much that they volunteer to do those sorts of things. Now, to continue on that trend of negative attention backfiring, right? If you remember, there was a real nasty, written article in the Catholic Virginian about the Latin Mass and all sorts of bad things that people say, right? That totally backfired. And I can tell you totally backfired because, one, when I read the article, I didn't realize that there was this website called the Latin Mass Directory. And in fact, I'll pull it up right here, right? So there was this thing. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is like totally out of date, right? So I didn't know about it. So the Catholic Virginia tipped me off to it. So I went in there and I updated it. So if you see, all it says also live streamed, right? I added all those links to it. So now it's up to date. And then also, I was turned on to a place called livemass.net, which I also didn't realize existed. And let me see, I think it's right here. Bam, look at that. So the wonderful Father Fryer over at FSSP said, hey, I see that you live stream masses. In fact, you seem to live stream more masses than anybody else. And I'm like, absolutely we do. I'm proud of that. How can I get onto livemass.net? So we've been working over the past year. It took a little while. I'm kind of slow, so I apologize for that. But if any of you have downloaded the app either on Android or iOS, you will notice that St. Benedict's Parish in Chesapeake, Virginia is now a proud producer of much of the Mass scheduling that is on livemass.net. There are other places too that have been picking up our Mass schedule. And I just did a basic Google, right? I found this place, livemass.live. I have no idea. I don't know any of these people. I don't know who manages this stuff, but bam, all of the stuff that we are live streaming all goes onto here. Somebody is collecting that stuff. What we do on the live stream is having a big effect, and it's going everywhere. That is so awesome. It would not be possible without wonderful contributions from people like you, without the support and the prayers of the parishioners, of wonderful parishioners like yourself. So thank you for that. It is absolutely having an impact. It is doing great stuff. You need to hear that from me because it is so true. Now, without further ado, let's talk about photos. So many of you have probably seen on the live stream, right? It's like the same photo every day, the same picture of the church every day. Occasionally it changes, right? And then it stays the same for a long time. Why is that? Because I'm not a photographer. I'm not even an art major, okay? I'm a super boring engineer. My artistic skills are somewhere between drawing stick figures and coloring in the kids menu at Waffle House, okay? If you knew that Waffle House had a kids menu, good on you. Waffle House is great. But while my art skills really suck, yours, many of you are very talented people. You are talented photographers. You are talented artists. You like to watercolor. You do all those really cool things that I am simply not capable of doing. So I need your photos. I need your pictures. If you have a picture or a photo of the church that you would like to be on that splash screen that happen, like the splash screen that you see before the mass starts, or the one that after the recording is finished that you see when it's in the video playlist, right? If you would like a picture that you've taken or a piece of art that you have drawn or painted or something like that, please scan that art in, send that photo to me, itsupport@stbenedictsparish.org, or if you give it to Yvonne or to Carrie, they will get it over to me, and I will happily put that on there and replace the very boring same photo that I've used for a long, long period of time. I can use all sorts of photos. Don't think that you're going to overwhelm it. Remember, 1,800 videos over the last 2 years, right? We have lots and lots and lots of need for different things, right? I would prefer to have photos, like different photos for Lent and different photos for the Christmas season and all that kind of stuff, right? I don't have those because I'm not a photographer. I'm just a boring engineer. So if you have those photos, if you have those watercolors, heck, maybe you've got a really cool picture that your kids colored in because they're probably better artists than me. Send it my way. I'm happy to throw it in there, right? If I get so many photos and pictures that I have to put like a different one on every single mass, great. That would be far more interesting than what we have now. So speaking of totally awesome things, let's talk about the new building. Let me pop this diagram up here. Let's see. Nope, we're not showing you that one. We're going to show you that one. Oh, look at that. So last year, I showed you guys a picture of the new church building with a diagram showing some of the network support infrastructure for it. We've updated it, and you can see it here. It's probably really hard to see because it's like really tiny on the screen, right? But if you want a great picture of this, you can let me know. I'm happy to send you what the drawing looks like. But I've drawn on here, you can see there's a lot of different coverages, a lot of different little devices here, right? These are some of the outdoor cameras. This is some of the indoor Wi-Fi. So I've drawn up a network diagram to support this absolutely wonderful building that we have. It's going to be a gorgeous building. It's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. We'll be able to have so many more events, and we won't have to rent a tent. We'll have lots of space in there. We'll have a wonderful kitchen, wonderful classroom space, right? So just an awesome, awesome building. One of the things I'm very, very concerned about because I've had to rehab a lot of large churches now, where I've gone in well after the church was built, well after their social halls and extensive network, extensive building pieces were built, right? And the number one complaint from all the folks in those churches is our Wi-Fi is terrible. We don't get a cell signal anymore. We don't have security cameras. We don't have this. One of the churches I was installing at, one of the music director actually conveyed a really scary story to me. He said, like the one day I was at the church real late at night. I was working on some stuff, and I thought I was the only person there, and I heard like a door slam, and people like a set of feet like scurrying on down the hallway. Had to call the cops. And he was like, our church is so big and we didn't have cameras everywhere. We had no idea that people could be coming in and out without anyone knowing. Scary stuff like that, right? So we're going to have a huge hall, and it definitely, at least in my opinion, definitely needs the data support, the Ethernet network, to be able to support your Wi-Fi, your security cameras, the access control for your doors so that you can use fobs and electronic keys rather than using physical keys. I want to make it so that for the people that like to teach, catechism, right? The people that want to have different events, the people that want to use that kitchen to prepare for different events, right? To be able to get access to the building without necessarily having one of our very hardworking, but definitely very overworked priests have to come over to unlock it for them. I have all that stuff in there. If that's something you care about, please let Father Nichols know. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that's arguing for it. I've got more than a few people that have expressed a negative opinion about the number of drop sitters there. So please, if you care about those things, if you care about security cameras, if you care about having door control, if you care about having a good network that your phone can still work even when you're inside the building, please let Father Nichols know. Let the front office staff know that it's important to you. Because it's important to me, and I really want to make sure that this building is a wonderful, wonderful hall for many, many years to come for all of our parishioners, including the young parishioners now that will potentially be getting married there, potentially be having a wedding reception there, right? I want that hall to be the best for him. So please let me know if you ever have questions about what I've drawn up for it. Don't hesitate to ask. I love talking about this stuff. It's probably the only thing I love talking about, right? I'm not a man of many hobbies, but just let me know. Let me know about that. I'm happy to walk on through that with you. Now, so besides that, the current Wi-Fi network, I'm going to be tuning the Wi-Fi network here over probably the next week. Right now, it's not too bad, but I want to make sure that it can support, we're getting up to about 100 users, depending on how many people sign in during a mass. It's good. It can definitely do better. And so I'm going to walk around and tune and basically change channels and a couple things, adjust a couple things on it. So it should be getting better and better. Please, if you stop by the church at any time, don't hesitate to use the guest Wi-Fi. If you want to come by and let your kids play on the playground because they got to burn some energy off and you want a safe place that you can just sit and relax and enjoy the environment around you, don't hesitate to bring your laptop. Don't hesitate to hook up with your phone. We put the QR code in the bulletin. So if you take your phone and you take your camera app out and you scan that QR code, it will connect you with the password into the guest Wi-Fi. Easy day. You scan it. It says, do you want to connect? You hit yes and done. You're connected and you'll be connected every time you come back to the church, which is great. Like it just works and it works well for you. The Wi-Fi is behind a firewall. It's scanned for malware. It's safe to use. Unless you try to be there at like 12 in the morning, in which case it turns off because I have it turned off for doing maintenance at that time. But most people aren't there at 12 in the morning. So you should be fine. So definitely use the Wi-Fi. Please, please, please. It's there for your use. It's there to make the church and the area around the church a welcoming environment where even if you've got to get some work done, right? If you work from home or you want a place where you can do some work and it's not sitting in the same office at your house, don't hesitate to go to the church and use Wi-Fi. It's awesome. But again, speaking of great Wi-Fi, right? As well as other projects, I haven't been idle. I told you last year that I was going to do a bunch of new projects on the church. The first one that we did was installed a doorbell. So if you walk up to Damien Hall, you'll see a black doorbell on the left-hand side. You've probably seen it by now. It's been there for a little while. The reason we put that in was many people were complaining that, hey, they go in and sometimes it's only Yvonne working in the office. Sometimes everyone's running around. We have so few staff members, right? And so they would knock on the door, but if, let's say, Yvonne was on the other side of Damien Hall, she wouldn't hear. And so, because you can't, right? Because it's an old farm building, as you saw the pictures from last year. So I put the doorbell in there. So now it actually rings all throughout Damien Hall. So we know when somebody's at the door. Even better, because sometimes Father Nichols is the only person there and he's actually across the street working at the church, I gave him one of these. This is a little wireless doorbell. Because the Wi-Fi is the same from both the church as well as Damien Hall, Father Nichols will keep this with him. He'll actually plug it in. And if you ring that doorbell, it will ring the chime where he's at because it's on the same Wi-Fi. So that way he's got sort of a built-in pager, if you will, right? So he knows when anybody stops him by. So if you go there and you have an appointment, right? Or you want to make sure that you see someone and the door is locked, ring the doorbell, because if anyone is either in the building or if they are across the street and it's Father Nichols and he's got his portable doorbell with him, then he'll know that you're there. And so that way you won't have to walk around and try to find the person, right? Which is great. Also, we had a couple of additional cameras that Father Nichols wanted to have added to bump up the security on the church. So I went ahead and added those. Those are up in the ceiling. You can see those in the sacristy and the pre-sacristy. Lastly, we acquired the building, the house that's over at 501 McCosh. We have visiting priests as well as other visitors that use that house. And in order to save us money, I went ahead and actually took the rectory Wi-Fi. I attached some antennas to it, shot it across the street, put it over at 501 McCosh, and they're on the same Wi-Fi as the rectory is. That saves us something like $150 a month because they don't have to purchase an extra Cox line with all the taxes and fees and all the other garbage, right? For 501 McCosh, we have all the great coverage over there that we could ever possibly need, which is awesome. Lastly, click on here, right? There's always more to do. Some of you have asked me, some of you stopped me after Mass and asked about other projects. It is always Father Nichols' call on what gets installed. But I'll tell you that at some point, I really want to replace the very old camera system that we have at the rectory as well as at 501 McCosh to put in a better system that integrates with our current system that's over at the church. I really do care about security, and I am concerned that there are people out there that want to do harm, want to spray paint buildings. They think it's funny to do that kind of stuff. One of the churches I've been installing security cameras at, they had somebody that defaced their statue, ripped the hand of like off the statue, and I'm like, really? That person thought that was a great idea? Freaking terrible. So I don't want that to happen, or I certainly want people to be deterred because they see the cameras up and they think that they won't be able to get away with it. So I'm definitely looking at some point to redo the cameras that are over at the rectory as well as at 501 McCosh. But if you have other ideas, please let me know. Email me, itsupport@stbenedictsparish.org. We can chat. We can figure out how to make that stuff a reality. I am always open to new ideas. I love it when people are interested in those background pieces that really help make the church run. That's it for this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I am really, really excited about how great our live stream has become, how much it has expanded from a very, very simple install to now having almost 2,000 subscribers and reaching all across the world. That is awesome. It is a great way that we spread the good word, we spread the great mass that we have and the great parish that we have to so many other people, even when they can't physically be with us. Please pray for me. I'm praying for you. I'm Ryan, your volunteer IT guy. God bless.